During World War II, an acting troupe in the countryside of England has performances that continue even during the bombings of the Luftwaffe. They're performing King Lear. It is the most difficult role in Shakespeare's canon for an older actor, especially for one who just discharged himself from the hospital and is having an emotional and physical breakdown. Sir is also the actor manager, so without him, the company will end. Through all this, it is the dresser who rises to the forefront and works valiantly to try to save the day. As a salute to all those involved with the theater, especially those behind the scenes, I present to you Ron Harwood's The Dresser.
But cry. They wouldn't let me stay. The doctors seem to think I make matters worse.
Oh, I shouldn't have taken him to the hospital. I don't know what came over me. I should have brought him back here, where he belongs.
Why is his coat on the floor and his hat?
Lying out, they're wet through, sodden, if you don't mind my saying so. So was he, drenched, sweat and drizzle and...
How did he come to be in such a state, Norman? When you telephoned, I thought he had been hurt in an air raid.
No.
Or had an accident.
No, not an accident.
No, I know, because they said there was no sign of physical injury.
Your ladyship.
He's in a state of collapse.
I know.
How did he get like that?
Your ladyship,
I didn't see him this morning. He left the digs before I woke. Where was he all day? Where did you find him?
What happened was this, your ladyship. After the all clear sounded, I went into Market Square as dusk was coming on. I'd hoped to find a packet or two of Brown and Paulson's corn flour, since our supplies are rather low and the stuff's scarce, and you never know. So I was asking at this stall, and that's when I heard his voice.
Whose voice?
Well, Sir's, of course. I turned and saw him by the candle maker, who was shutting up shop for the night. He was taking off his overcoat. In this weather, God help the man who stops me, he shouted, and threw the coat to the ground, just like Lear in the storm scene. Oh, look at it. I don't know if I'll ever get it clean.
What happened after he took off his coat?
He started on the hut. Down on the coat it went, and he jumped on it, stomped on his hat, viciously stomped on his hat. Fingers were all of a fidget, undoing his jacket, loosening his collar and tie, tearing at the buttons of his shirt.
Were there many people about?
A small crowd. That's why I ran to him.
Did he know who you were?
I didn't wait to find out. I just took his hand and said, "Good evening, sir. Shouldn't we be getting to the theater?" In my best nanny voice, the one I use when he's being wayward. He paid no attention. He was shivering. His whole body seemed to be trembling. Oh, and such trembling.
You shouldn't have let the public see him like that.
Well, I tried to spirit him away, only just then a woman approached, quite old, wearing bombazine under a tweed coat, but perfectly respectable. She'd picked up his clothes, and she wanted to help him dress. He said to the woman, "Thank you, my dear, but Norman usually looks out after me. I'd be lost without Norman." No, I thought to myself, this is your cue, Ducky. And I said, "I'm Norman. I'm his dresser." The woman, she had her hair curlers, took his hand and kissed it and said, "Oh, you were lovely in the Corsican Brothers." He looked at her a long while, smiled sweetly, you know, the way he does when he's wanting to charm, and said, "Oh, thank you, my dear, but you must excuse me. I have to make an exit," and ran off.
He said, I have to make an exit.
Of course, I went after him, fearing the worst.
And then you telephoned me.
No, I waited. I lurked, as Edmund said, and I heard the doctor whisper, "This man is exhausted. This man is in a state of collapse." Then the sister came out and said, "I must fetch you at once." That's when I telephoned, and that's when it happened. And that's how it happened. Oh, there goes all clear.
Excuse me, any further developments? We'd better see the manager. Perhaps you ought to come with me.
Oh, your ladyship, please, let's take our time. Let's not rush things.
There's no alternative.
Madge is right. He is in hospital. We can't play King Lear without the king. We have to make a decision.
Oh, forgive me, your ladyship. It's not a decision you have to make. It's the right decision. I had a friend in a very low state here, ever so fragile, a pain to be with. You weren't safe with him or on the top of a bus. He happened to sit beside you, he'd tell you the ABC of unhappiness between bus stops. Someone close to him, his mother, I believe, though it was never proved, understandably upset, made a decision. A little rest, she said, among those similarly off-center, in Colwyn Bay. Never a good date. Oh, not in February. Oh, wrapped in a gray rug, gazing at a gray sea. Oh, talk about bleak. Mother dear made a decision, but it was the wrong decision. My friend never acted again.
We have to face the facts.
Oh, I've never done that in my life, your ladyship, and I don't see why I should start now. I just like things to be lovely. No pain, that's my motto.
But things aren't lovely, Norman.
Well, they aren't if you face facts. Face facts, it's facing the company I worry about. The poor lambs. What'll happen to them? And the customers. There was a line at the box office this afternoon, if elderly spinsters constitute a line. Pity to give them their money back. They've likely had enough disappointment in life as it is. Oh, it's no good, sir, talking about responsibility and service and struggle and survival, and then you go and cancel the performance.
It's a disease.
What is?
Hopefulness. I think we should discuss this in private. I'll be in my room.
I'll be in Madge's room if I'm wanted.
Don't decide yet, your ladyship. Let me go to hospital. Let me see how he is. You never know.
I do know. I realize now I've witnessed a slow running down. I've heard the hiss of air escaping. We'll call the company together at the half. I'll tell them that tonight's performance is cancelled, that the engagement is to be ended.
Norman. Good evening, Norman. Good evening, Pussy.
So, why are you here?
My name is on the door.
Did the doctor say you could leave?
Doctors? Executioners? You know what he told me? A short, balding butcher. Il Duce in a white coat. What you need is rest. Is that all? When a doctor tells you you need rest, you can be certain he has no idea what's wrong with you. I discharged myself.
Telephone the hospital.
Do not telephone the hospital.
Norman, will you leave us, please?
I'll see Madge and tell her there's an alternative.
You're fit for nothing.
Oh, please, Pussy, don't.
Cancel the performance.
Can't. Mustn't. Won't.
Then take the consequences.
When have I not?
The doctor promised you'd be kept there.
They tried to inject me. They couldn't hold me down.
Where have you been all day? Don't tell me you found a brothel in this town.
I don't remember anything I've done. I do know that towards evening I was being pursued, but I couldn't see who the villains were. Then the warning came, but I refused to take shelter. I'm accustomed to the blasted heat acrid smells, eyes watering. Wherever I went, I seemed to hear a woman crying. Then suddenly I had this clear image of my father standing on the beach at Lowestoft, inspecting the boats his men had built. "And Hector," he said, "never. You'll be a boat builder like me." But I defied him and lost his love. I had to chart my own course. I'll decide when I'm ready for the scrap heap. I, not you or anyone else.
The woman you heard crying was me.
Norman!
Yes,
Norman, I want you by me.
yes, sir.
Do not leave my side, Norman.
Oh, no, sir.
I shall want help, Norman. Oh, Madge, dear.
You speak to him. He doesn't hear a word I say. He's obviously incapable.
You look exhausted.
That's what I call tact.
Are you sure you're able to go on tonight?
Well, he wouldn't be here if he wasn't, would you, sir?
How long have you been with me, Madge, dear?
Longer than anyone else.
How long?
20 years. Nearly 20 years.
Have I ever missed a performance?
No. But then you've never been ill. I only want what's best for you.
What's best for sir is that he's allowed to get ready.
Ready? Yes, I must get ready.
Ready? Ready for what?
Excuse me, your ladyship. Couldn't you be getting ready too?
I can't bear to see him like that.
Then best to leave us. I've had experience in these things. I know what has to be done.
Ugh. Imagine waking to that night after night.
Right. Shall we begin at the beginning? Good evening, sir. Good evening, Norman. And how are you this evening, sir? Oh, a little tearful, I'm afraid. And you, Norman? Oh, I'm very, very well, thank you, sir. Have had ever such a quiet day, cleaning your wig and beard, ironing your costumes, washing your undies. And what have you been up to, sir? I've been jumping on my hat, Norman. Have you? That's an odd thing to do. May one ask why? Why what, Norman? Why have we been jumping on our hat, sir? There's less than an hour to go. You usually want longer. Shall we make a start? If you don't mind my saying so, sir, there seems to be very little point in discharging yourself from hospital and coming here a bit like Niobe prior to being turned into stone. So, shall we make an effort? Look, I know how it feels. I had a friend, worse than you he was, and all they ever wanted to do with him was put him away. And no one ever wants to go through that, or so my friend said. They'll send you to Colwyn Bay. And you know you'll never do any business in Colwyn Bay. And guess what my friend did? Sounds silly like this. An offer of work. Telegram. Yes, fancy. A telegram. Can you imagine? The understudy. Scrubby. Outward bound. Start Monday. Discharged himself, just like you, my friend did. Took the train up to London, found digs in Brixton, and never looked back. And someone had thought of him, and that's ever such a comfort. So, here's something to cheer you up. It's going to be a full house tonight. All those people thinking of you and wanting you to act.
Really? A full house?
Shall we make a start?
What play is it tonight?
King Lear, sir.
Impossible.
Oh, thank you very much. That's nice, isn't it? People paying good money to see you, and you say impossible. Very nice indeed, I don't think.
I don't want to be seen.
Difficult playing King Lear with the lighting you use.
I don't want to see her ladyship.
Oh, even more difficult, since She is playing Cordelia. You saw her a moment ago. You were alone together.
Were we? What's the play tonight?
King Lear, sir.
Madge was wrong.
Oh, she often is.
I have been ill before. Did you ever see me in Corsican Brothers? I went on with double pneumonia. After
Alas.
playing Corsican Brothers, I'd rather have double pneumonia than this.
Then what?
What's to prevent me from packing up and going home? Why am I when I should be in bed asleep? Even kings abdicate.
Well, I hope he's happy with the woman he loves. That's all I can say. I hope he's happy. Shall we undress? Talk of undressing. Wasn't it a lovely night in Market Square this evening?
I don't remember being in Market Square.
Oh, you've been missing the whole day. What do you remember?
Walking. If only I could think of a good catchy title. I think My Life a Little Plain, don't you?
We'll think of something.
It can't be Lear again tonight.
Shall we begin our makeup?
Well, Mom, I can't give any more. I have nothing more to give. I want tranquil senility. I'm a grown man. I don't want to go on painting my face night after night, wearing clothes that are not my own. I'm not a child dressing up for charades. This is my work, my life's work. I'm an actor, and who cares if I go out there tonight or any other night, shorten my life.
I had a friend once who said, Norman, I don't care if there are only 3 people out front, or if the audience laugh when they shouldn't, or don't when they should. One person, just one person is certain to know and understand. And I act for him. That's what my friend said.
I can't move that which can't be moved. What did I do today?
Well, you walked. You thought you wrote. You were in Market Square. A woman kissed your hand and said you were lovely in the Corsican Brothers.
How do you know all this? Has someone been talking?
I don't wish to hurry you, sir. No, I lie. I do.
It's Madge.
Yes,
I'd like to see him.
I'd rather you didn't.
It is my responsibility to take the curtain up tonight. There isn't much time.
Things have reached a delicate stage. I don't want him disturbed.
What's all the whispering?
Oh, nothing.
Has he begun to make up yet?
Well, not yet, but very soon.
Do you realize how late it is? They'll be calling the harp at any moment.
Oh, I know how late it is.
Then on your head be it.
Who is that?
Oh, only Madge. Just say everything's running like clockwork. Oh, look, a dressing gown. Shall we put it on and keep ourselves warm? What's it matter where you were, what you did today? You are here in the theater, safe and sound, where you belong. And a full house. Lovely.
Really? A full house?
There'll be standing room only.
You know they bombed the Grand Theatre Plymouth.
And much else of the city besides.
I made my debut at the Grand Theatre Plymouth.
Oh, they want to know.
I shouldn't have come out this autumn. I should have rested. But he made me. I had no choice.
Ooh.
I should have rested.
Oh, I had a friend who was ordered to rest. He obeyed. That was the end of him. He was ever so ill. Nearly became a Catholic. Would you like a little rub down? I'm not surprised you're feeling dispirited. It's been ever such a hard time. No young men to play the juveniles, and the troubles with Mr. Davenport Scott.
What news of Davenport Scott?
Oh, the police have opposed bail.
What?
Well, he had had his second warning.
Then how do we dispose our forces?
Mr. Thornton is standing by to play fool.
And who is Oswald?
Mr. Brown, I'm afraid.
At least we're a night short for reason, not the need.
98 short, actually, if you take the text as gospel, so one more or less won't be too upsetting.
Thornton, toothless as fool. Brown, lisping as Oswald. Oxenby, limping as Edmund. What have I come to? I've never had a company like this. I've been reduced to old men, cripples, and Nancy boys. Hitler has certainly made it difficult for Shakespearean companies.
It'll be a chapter in the book, sir. I hate to mention this, but we are going to be short for the storm. We've no one to operate the wind machine. Madge knows the problem, but she is very unsympathetic.
You tell Madge for me, I want that storm at full strength. What about Oxenby?
Not the most amenable gentleman.
Send him to me at the half. I'll have a word with him. And better send Thornton as well.
You see, that's more like it. You're where you belong, doing what you do best, and you're yourself again. You start making up, and I'll tell him to come and see you. I've cleaned the wig and the beard. I'll see what we can do with these. Jumping on his hat, indeed. Shan't be a minute. Oh, no, sir, no, not Othello. Oh. Oh.
The manager has opened the house.